Tesla Full Self-Driving Version 14 First Impressions. Tesla rolled out its full self-driving V14.1 yesterday, its first public launch of its most robust and accurate FSD iteration yet. Luckily, I was able to get my hands on it through the Early Access program. The major changes in FSD V14.1 were revealed in the release notes, which outlined several notable improvements in areas such as driving styles, parking, and overall navigation. Here is what Tesla outlined fully in its release notes. Added arrival options for you to select where FSD should park: in a parking lot, on the street, in a driveway, in a parking garage, or at the curbside. Added handling to pull over or yield for emergency vehicles, example, police cars, fire trucks, ambulances. Added navigation and routing into the vision-based neural network for real-time handling of blocked roads and detours. Added additional speed profile to further customize driving style preference. Improved handling for static and dynamic gates. Improved offsetting for road debris, example, tires, tree branches, boxes. Improve handling of several scenarios including unprotected turns, lane changes, vehicle cut-ins, and school buses. Improved FSD's ability to manage system faults and recover smoothly from degraded operation for enhanced reliability. Added alerting for residue buildup on interior windshield that may impact front camera visibility. If affected, visit service for cleaning. I wanted to try it for myself. My big must-dos were my complaints with V13.2.9, which included parking when arriving at a destination, navigation when leaving a destination, and definitely a general improvement in the car traveling at an acceptable rate of speed, even when using the hurry driving style. Here's what I noticed with the new full self-driving V14.1. Speed profiles are more realistic. I am driving on hurry about 95% of the time when utilizing full self-driving. In past versions, most notably V13.2.9, my Tesla would slowly reach the speed limit, and it would tend to hang out at about 1 to 2 miles per hour, either above or below it. My first observation with V14.1 was the vehicle's tendency to get right up to speed and, since I was still on hurry, drive slightly above the speed limit. It never got out of line. It traveled at speeds I would typically drive at manually. I think this is a big improvement on its own, because I felt that I was pressing the accelerator too frequently in past FSD versions. Oftentimes, it just wasn't going fast enough to justify the hurry label. It felt more conservative and more like a student driver than anything. Tesla Full Self-Driving V14.1 travels at more realistic speeds on local roads. With 13.2.9, even on hurry, it would hover the speed limit a little too much, oftentimes traveling 1 to 2 miles per hour below or over. It now travels at more realistic speeds. This was among my favorite improvements, and it was the first thing I noticed as the car navigated me to the supercharger, where my next positive is. Navigating into parking lots, self-parking at supercharger. One of the changes noted in the release notes was the addition of arrival options, which allows the car to select the appropriate parking situation. Since I was going to charge, the car had already chosen charger as the parking option. Pulling into a gas station or convenience store, especially during workdays, can be stressful, as they are usually congested and full of foot and vehicle traffic. In past FSD versions, I have noticed the car being slightly jumpy and even hesitant to proceed through the lot. Driving through parking lots was a noticeable improvement. It seems as if the car is much more confident in making its way through, while still being aware and cautious enough to safely navigate to the supercharger. It then backed straight into a supercharger stall, which was recently repaired and is once again active. I was actually upset it chose this specific stall, because it had been inactive for a while. However, Tesla got this stall back up and running. The car chose it and backed into the spot flawlessly. Check out Tesla Full Self-Driving V14 choosing and backing into a supercharger. After selecting this supercharger at the beginning of my trip, my Tesla had already selected charger as the arrival option. This was super cool to experience, and I think it is a testament to how hard the Tesla AI team has worked. CEO Elon Musk recently stated that FSD would enable automatic parking at superchargers, which was really awesome to experience firsthand. I decided to leave the supercharger and go to an auto parts store to pick up some interior cleaner and some microfiber towels. I love keeping my Tesla clean. I also thought it would be a great opportunity to see how it would react to another parking lot, how it would navigate it, and let it choose a parking spot. It did it all flawlessly. Here is Tesla full self-driving V14.1 navigating to a store, pulling in, choosing a parking spot, and backing right in from V13.2.9. This is a drastic improvement. Typically, manual parking was required in past versions when arriving at retail locations. I had zero complaints about everything here. All of it was done really well. Making a choice after being caught in the middle of an intersection. I arrived at a tight intersection in Dallastown, PA, and what my car did next has catalyzed quite a conversation on X. It proceeded out into the middle of the intersection as the light was green. It had to yield to oncoming traffic, and while waiting, the light turned yellow, then red. Most people, including myself, would have turned right and proceeded through the intersection since the car was already past the line. However, FSD chose to back up and wait for the next light cycle, which I felt was also a more than acceptable option. Super cool thing Tesla FSD V14.1 did. It proceeded through this intersection to turn left, but the light had gone to red before the turn could be completed. It put itself in reverse and backed up to the stop here on red sign line. Didn't proceed at a red or impede others. There are some conflicting perspectives on what it chose to do here. Some said they would have proceeded and would want FSD to also proceed. I can agree with that perspective, but I also think it is not the worst thing in the world to back up. I was happy with its performance. Source, reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at teslarati.